unit is PICT 851 Advanced Security Studies. It is the capstone unit for the master's degree programs here at PICT. Basically, it's an introduction to security studies through the use of 3 key texts from security studies literature, and it's basically a way for students to engage with the key ideas, the debates and arguments in the formation, and then involving them with how these texts and the ideas in them led to the formation of policing, intelligence, counterterrorism and security studies as themes. The graduate capabilities of this course involves critical and analytical thinking abilities. It's a way for students to engage with key texts and key ideas in a group-based seminar, as well as independently working on materials to be able to develop theory to practice. A lot of what they do involves reading a core text and working together to build a bank of knowledge, building on from foundations to critical advanced skills. Independent research is about them going away, taking a key text, reading it themselves without any guidance, and then coming back to a seminar and introducing their ideas on their knowledge about a text and idea and workshopping it with other members in the class. It's not a handheld process, it's a process where we ask the students to take away from the course and from the text themselves and then bring back their own knowledge. The unit aims for students to develop their own independent analytical skills. It's not a way for them to say, okay, we only are reading 3 books and then we finish the end of the course. It's a way for them to engage with a legacy of an author or a legacy of the discipline in a long systemic way. So we're going for a long-term objective for knowledge. The challenge of this unit is we have a long-term objective of making students read traditional materials, but how are we supposed to keep them engaged over this long-term objective? It's a new generation of students in that they have never known a way of learning without the internet. And so how do we engage these students with this technology, with traditional coursework materials? One of the ways that we found is that we engage them in the seminar using digital new media. And there were 3 very key pieces of technology in this, especially for external students that don't have access to a convener all of the time and they don't have that face-to-face contact. These internet-based media technologies became quite important. So the first one would be the use of a Pirate Pad, which is a web-based word processor, and it allows students to digitally collaborate, and it also allows them to track at what time which student collaborated. So there is a time slider ability. It also allows me to track when students are collaborating and at what point. And so this also gives the ability to scaffold tutorials in the sense that one tutorial might go away and work on how the answers to a focus question. The next tutorial takes this knowledge and works on it in terms of filling in the gaps and if there's any mistakes made. And the third tutorial will take away this part of the knowledge that we've kind of developed and add references. And by the end of the semester, it's almost like a Wikipedia page for students about a book or about a concept or about an idea. The second piece of technology we used is Padlet, which is like an academic Pinterest board, and students around the time of assessment, I asked them to work together collaboratively, knowing that at one point in time they have maybe 3 or 4 assessments, and for them to work together to put together their research and any interesting articles on a case study on a Pinterest board, and for them they can take it away later and read about it and work on it later as well. Pinterest is basically it's a board on an internet. It's just almost like a web page where students can take any material from the web and pin it. And there's a screen grab, and there's also, you can add a description. And so I asked students to put the screen grab there, and it always has the URL of any article they find through the library, any web page, any news article, and for them to write a brief description about why that might be useful for the course. And basically then it comes out to be quite a nice web page for students to come back onto when they're doing further research of, oh, what did we talk about that seminar? How is it useful for the assessment later on? And how is it useful overall for the course? The third piece of technology is Vodcast on Turnitin, which is more a technology for the external students. And basically, since they haven't had much contact with the convener, this is a way to provide a dialectic with them in terms of the feedback for their assessments and gives them a voice for the course. So we also provide students with the ability to give mid-semester feedback through forums such as Google Forums or Socrative, and this allows students to give feedback on the unit halfway through the semester or even 3 weeks after the semester on what they think works and doesn't work. This is opposed to the end of semester feedback, which benefits the students in the next semester, but not for students in the course as it happens. So this allows us to do minor changes to suit their needs. So each generation of students are changing, and the mediums and the avenues that they use to learn and to digest information are changing as well. And finding new innovative ways to keep them engaged with traditional course materials can be quite challenging, but the rewards are very high.